Nagbabalik ang iyong partner pagdating sa pagninegosyo. Sama-sama nating alamin ang mga sangkap para sa sustainable at successful na negosyo. Ako si Roda Castro Kaliwara, your resident Pinay entrepreneur. At ito ang Negosyente. Supermom na, entrepreneur pa. Ang ating Mompreneur of the Week ay isang napakasipag na second-gen businesswoman at nanay. Kilalanin natin si Isabel. Welcome sa ating segment na Mompreneur, where we invite moms who not only manage their households but also their business. At ngayong araw na to, we have a very special guest. At gustong-gusto ko nang itanong, paano nga ba magkaroon ng negosyo na ipinasa sa iyo ng magulang at pero gusto mo rin gumawa ng sarili mong pangalan? Or yung tinatawag nga ba nilang niche? Alamin natin mamaya yan sa ating guest sa araw na to. Pero bago ang lahat, why not grab your favorite ice cream treat as we jump into this interview with the second-generation entrepreneur, Miss Isabel Coa.
Hi.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi.
Kumusta?
I'm good. Thank you.
Isabel, can you share with us a bit about your family?
So, my husband and I are high school sweethearts, and we have two kids. Two amazing kids. Elise, she's 10 years old, and my son George is 6 years old. Yeah.
And you have a business.
Yes. My business actually is more of a family business, as you mentioned. It's like second generation already. It started with my dad's company. So they founded FIC. It's an ice cream brand. No? He and his partners started this 26 years ago. And, well, my dad made sure we all grew up in an entrepreneurial environment. So, maliit pa lang ako, may mga businesses na, mga malilit na kaming businesses kahit na nasa corporate world siya. Even my mom, she was in the banking industry, no? But she and my dad always had their own mga side businesses nila. So matagal na akong sinililigawan ng daddy ko to join him, but I was always hesitant about, baka kasi nga may hirap din yung relationship, no, ng baka mag-away pag sa business. But then, eventually, when I saw na nahihirapan na siya, no, kasi it's not getting any younger also, I decided to give it a try. So I entered as a consultant muna. And then from there, I grew to love the business and the industry. So from there, nag-decide ako na aside from the corporate world, mag-start din ako ng sarili kong ice cream business from the company.
While raising two kids.
Yes.
Okay, so paano i-balance yon? Kasi ang dami mong ginagawa. Managing the business ng family, and then you establish your own company,
Yes.
your own business, and then, yun nga, nag-aalaga ka ng mga anak.
Kids. Yeah, actually, that one until now, I'm still learning. Mahirap talaga. No? It takes a village. So one thing I think that I learned is to don't say no when people offer to help. Kasi there are some people who'll try, no, I can do it all on my own. You have to be able to recognize also your limitations. Kung hanggang saan lang yung kaya mo. Kasi it will take a toll on everything, on yourself, on the children. Another thing that I learned throughout all of this is that it's not just finding a balance between family and work, but also time for yourself. So, pag minsan kasi nakakalimutan natin alagaan yung sarili natin because we're trying to be good at work and to be a good parent, to be a good wife, na nakakalimutan natin yung sarili natin. And I feel, parang sa airplane, how it's always confusing in the beginning when people say, why do you have to put the mask first on the parent before the child? And it's because, you cannot help the people around you if you are not well or if you're not, healthy.
True. You have two kids.
Yes.
Anong plano mo sa kanila? Do you want them to be future entrepreneurs as well? Nire-ready mo na ba sila? Prepare mo na ba sila to be the third generation entrepreneurs?
It's nice that you asked that, no? Because actually, I think it depends if the child has the inclination. And luckily, my eldest, si Elise, she's 10 years old, even at a young age, I try to expose them so that they can see what I do, and they know that things don't come easy. Kailangan magtrabaho ng mabuti. I would teach her how to do the groceries to help. Siya na yung nag-grocery online. Pero medyo napadpad ata siya dun sa mga Barbie and and then pabili siya ng pabili. So I figured, alam mo, every time I tell her it's too expensive, I noticed parang hindi kasi nila nagagrasp yung ibig sabihin ng expensive, or like at what point does something become expensive.
Expensive,
Then I realized it's because they don't know the value of things. So, nisip ko maybe I should help her start her own business in the start para lang makita din niya the amount of work it takes to be able to purchase something, no? So, nag-start siya. Naging plantita din kasi ako over the pandemic, no? So, I taught her how to propagate certain plants. So, napasok namin yung science lessons namin doon because their school was also cut short, no? So, and we weren't sure at the time kailan sila babalik sa school. So, I figured, tuloy ko na sa house yung some teaching without books, di ba? So, I taught her the costings, I showed her the receipts, I taught her how to use Excel to plug in the costs and all. And parang she enjoyed the science behind it, no? Like how it works. And then, when finally she sold all of her products, natawa ko kasi akala niya yung gross income niya. Lahat yun, pera niya. Excited siya, magsha-shopping siya. Kasi
Wala nang cost.
Oo. So, akala niya, pwede na siya mag-shopping sa Shopee. Say ko, wait, don't forget to pay me back. She goes, what? I said, I paid for your materials. You have to pay me back for that. And then whatever's left, that's what you can spend. And then nakita niya 250 lang yung natira dun sa money niya. Akala niya, malaking 250. So, pagtingin niya doon, Barbie, mahal. Kita niya, parang, ito lang, hindi kulang yung money niya to buy things and everything was so expensive. And that was when I could see that she was realizing now na it took that much work for me to earn this much. So now, pag she's more, how do you say this? She's more knowledgeable now, or she can sense now when things are expensive or not, and she doesn't always ask to buy things now. And then after that, she and her friends started their own business na. On their own na, sa school. Na when they went back to school, she has her beads, her necklaces, and her bracelets that she sells to her classmates so that she designs it. And then siya na rin gumawa ng coste kasi marunong na siya. So nakakatawa din to see them na may inclination sila even at that age.
At the age of 10, mind you, she has put her own business na.
Yeah.
Ang galing-galing. Dami nating natutunan sa ating second generation entrepreneur, Miss Isabel Coa. Maraming salamat for your time.
Thank you.
May you find that sweet spot na kung saan ang pagiging negosyante at pagiging isang nanay will go together in perfect harmony. Magbabalik ang negosyante. Since the world reopened, kasabay nito ang pagbuhay muli ng industriya ng live music. Pero ano nga ba mga challenges na kalakip ng pagpapatakbo ng ganitong klaseng business? Ito ang kwentong negosyo.
Ako po si Nelson Gonzalez, ang owner ng Tago Jazz. Ito po ang natatanging jazz venue sa buong Pilipinas. We started 2011. Used to be a really, really small house. Pinagpatuloy ko tong passion project ng Tago Jazz dahil kailangan ng bansa natin ng space para ma-discover yung mga ganitong klaseng art forms. Para yun nga, magkaroon ng host para sa matatalino at saka magagaling na Pilipino para maipagbunyi at saka mapag-unlad nila ang kanilang mga talento. Over the past decade, hindi siya madali dahil of course, hindi tayo gifted ng resources. But yun nga, with the persistence, maitatawid mo siya kasi merong may purpose. At least para sa akin itong negosyo na to, merong purpose, not money making, I'm not here to be a millionaire. Aim ko na tsaka mission para magserbisyo para do sa art form una, para sa mga artists natin sa bayan at saka para sa mga tao para magkaroon din yung mga listeners tsaka audience ng venue on where to discover the art form of jazz music. Nakita ko yung matindi at saka malalim na sakit ng infrastruktura. Wala tayong infrastructure para sa mga artists, mga creatives. So yun, eventually baka makagawa ko ng foundation para sa mga artists natin tsaka basically para sa kasi ang daming kailangang i-address. Una, yung talent development, tapos welfare, tapos healthcare na wala nag-aasikaso dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. So eventually yun. Tapos pag may pera na, baka makagawa ako ng mini theater para dun magtatanghal yung mga artists natin. So this is just a medyo temporary na phase. Siguro it might be daunting to pursue, but yun lang nga, kailangan lang tibay ng loob tsaka yung love para sa kung anong ginagawa mo. Otherwise, wag na lang. Kasi kung hindi mo mahal yung ginagawa mo and it's only for a measly sum ng pera, it wouldn't make sense. So, para hindi siya stressful, you must love what you do.
Welcome sa ating segment na Sagot Kita. Kasama nating muli si Maring Matanong. Kumusta ka na?
Ate Roda, thank you Pero marami pa talaga akong tanong. Litong-lito na ako. Gusto ko nang magnegosyo. Gusto ko nang magbenta ng produkto. Hindi ko alam kung ano at paano.
Importante nga naman sa isang negosyante ang malaman at matuto tungkol sa product development. Kaya napakaswerte ni Kumaring Matanong dahil may kasama tayong eksperto na siyang sasagot sa mga katanungan mo. We're so privileged to have on the show a man of many accomplishments. Kailangan kong basahin to who has served in various leadership roles and now teaches advanced marketing and advanced strategic marketing for the doctoral program of San Beda University. He's the current COO of Dito CME and the Chief Innovation Officer of the Odena Corporation. Welcome to the show, Mr. Donald Lim.
Hello, hi Rhoda. Thanks for having me.
Donald, ang tanong, ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng product development at gaano ba ito kaimportante sa pagninegosyo?
Very important kasi lahat ng mga pag nagnegosyo ka, binibenta mo talaga produkto eh. I always say nga no, pati kunyari serbisyo ang binibigay mo, you still have to what they call productize it. Kailangan mo pa rin siya iprodukto. So in essence, lahat ng binibenta natin, it's a product in itself, regardless of if it is tangible na nahahawak or di nahahawak. You know, my time I started as a product manager. So yung discipline ko talaga is really on product development. And I'll tell you already, no, sometimes as a entrepreneur, kung negosyante tayo, pag mag-uumpisa tayo, di ba, may product akong iniisip. May serbisyo akong iniisip. Milk tea ba yan, o fries ba yan, o kahit ano ba yan, no? May produkto. But I remember what my boss told me before, na the product is not only about you thinking that it's something that you want to present to the market, but it is also as important as asking the market anong gusto nila. I'll give you an example. Ito parang lecture na to. Yung first job ko, di ko alam kung alam niyo, taga Burger King po ako. Yung pinakaunang job ko paglabas ko ng college, no. So, syempre ang sabi sa amin ng US, ibenta niyo yung produkto, number 1 yan, flame grilled burgers. Flame grilled, sabi nga, walang tatalo. Kasi ang flame grilled burgers ang pinakamasarap. Kasi ilalagay mo sa apoy yung burger, magdi-drip yung oil, tapos mahulog siya, tapos yung vegetables, lahat yun, pag kinombine mo, talagang sobrang siya yung pinakamasarap na burger. Walang tatalo, flame grilled burgers. Tapos, naalala nyo pa, no, nung Burger King days, nung unang-una, ang ginawa pa nila, refillable drinks. Punta ka, di ba? Punta ka sa ikaw bahala, may vendo, ikaw bahala kung anong gusto mong inumin. So sabi nga, that tandem, right? That duo offering is superior to any fast food. Ano nangyari? Jollibee at McDo pa rin eh. So, ang ginawa namin, sabi ng boss ko that time, sabi nga, sige, ito gawin natin. Huwag na natin muna tanggapin na ang flame grilled burgers ang number 1. Itanong natin yung market. So, ang ginawa namin, every week, nagtanong kami ng 50 people every week for 1 year. Tinanong namin lahat, why do you go to fast food? Yun lang, simple. Bakit ka pumunta sa fast food? Ilabas mo lang. So, kinuha namin lahat, kinompile namin yung data, yung 1,000 plus na respondents.
So you conducted a survey.
Survey. Ako, nagbibigay talaga kami ng survey form. Talagang tinanong, ba't ka pumunta sa fast food? Bakit? Ano bang gustuhan nyo? Ganun. Inaalam namin. Right? And then after that, after 1 year namin ginawa yon. Pero after that, sobrang ganda ng data namin, right? And doon namin nakita, in yung ranking, 1, di ba? Pag 1, yung pinaka gusto nila. Bakit sila pumupunta sa fast food? 1 being the most important, 100 being the least important. Ang flame grilled burgers na ino-offer namin ay rank 80.
Oh.
Ibig sabihin, in-offer flame grilled burgers. Wala pa nung pakialam ang merkado eh. So,
Ang ibig sabihin nun pala, Donald, no, ganun ka-importante na pakinggan ang boses ng merkado.
kaya nga minsan parang lagi tayo nag-offer. Pag even for my students and even for the businesses I mentor, lagi sabi, para kanino yung produkto mo? Para sa lahat. Eh mahirap yung para sa lahat. Hindi clear ang market. If you follow the discipline of product development, alam mo kagad ilan yung target market, alam mo kagad yung market size mo, alam mo kagad na ito ang segment ko, broad C, D, living in ganyan, anong age group, anong ganun. Alam mo kagad ilang million. Ano ang conversion mo? Automatic. Bilang na bilang mo. It's very important for me when you talk about product development. It's not I will not teach you operations. I will not teach you paano yung paano mo ginawa yung produkto. Pero I think it is the discipline of understanding yung wag kang bulag blindly that you go into business. Alamin mo sino ang kalaban mo, sino ang katabi mo. Alamin mo sino ang merkado mo at ilan sila. Right? Then once you have the two in place, then mas maayos na yung marketing mo, mas directed, mas targeted.
Sa konting panahon, ilang minuto lang yan, pero ang dami-dami nating natutunan kay Mr. Donald Lim. Alam mo, you made Maring Matanong very, very happy today. So maraming salamat sa iyong oras and thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Sa bawat negosyo, may buhay na nababago. Ito ang mga kwentong mapapakinggan natin dito lamang sa The Good Stories with Sonja Kalit, brought to you by SM Supermalls.
Ang bahaging ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SM Supermalls.
At nandito po ako ngayon sa SM City, Iloilo upang makakwentuhan ng isang successful business owner dito sa SM. Kasama ko po ngayon ang may-ari ng Fiesta, Attorney Jobert Peña Florida. Hi, Attorney!
Mayong hapon and welcome to Iloilo.
Thank you so much. Okay, Fiesta. I love
Mhm.
everything here. Can you tell us, how did Fiesta begin?
Well, we started 20 years ago, and to mark our 20th year, we put up our first store here in SM City, Iloilo. Well, SM has always been a consistent partner of Fiesta. No? We in the different activities that we undertake as a company, or for different activities of the city and the province, partner, CSM and Fiesta. And also, SM wanted a challenge and gave us one, that if you want to put up your own store, it should be more than just souvenirs. And so Fiesta has pivoted itself into fashion. So now we are promoting indigenous, sustainable, inherent Ilonggo fashion.
Tell us more about your products. Where do you source the materials? Who makes these products? Can you tell us more about
Well,
that?
syempre, hindi kumpleto yung kwento pag wala yung aking asawa. Now, my better half is really responsible for all the creative inputs in the store. Now, she used to be Miss Iloilo, therefore, her passion is really to promote the products of Iloilo. Now, so you're asking about saan ba galing yung mga materials in the store. They come from the communities. Ang mga handmade, handcrafted items here are done by the Ilonggos. Now, for example, meron kaming hand-painted bags and fans at gawa ito ng mga women communities. Ang mga hand-paint naman gawa ng mga young Ilonggo artists. So dagdag baon, no? They come from the artistic guilds in the different universities here in Iloilo. At the same time, we're also really very aggressive in promoting our fabric, hablon, no? And patadyong as well. And we use hablon and patadyong. Ito yung talagang handmade ng aming mga Ilonggo women. No? And we integrated hablon into shirts, into polo, into blouses, including the one I'm wearing today.
Ang galing. Talagang bawat produkto may kwentong Ilonggo. At tunay na Ilonggo po talaga, di ba? You know, Attorney, so the past 20 years, no, what would you say is the secret to Fiesta success?
The secret to Fiesta success is really going back to your community and treating everyone as a family. Kaya sa aming core values, F is not only fun, but is family. Now, because if you consider your people as part of your organization and part of your family, the dedication is different.
Grabe, thank you so much, family and community. Thank you so much, Attorney Jobert. Would you like to invite our viewers to come check out the Fiesta family?
Well, sa lahat na nanonood sa atin, make sure that when you go to Iloilo, you make it a stop at SM City Iloilo and visit Fiesta. This is where we offer you the best of Iloilo and where we celebrate the best of the Ilonggo spirit. Madamo gid nga salamat and enjoy Iloilo.
Ang bahaging ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SM Supermalls.
Starting or growing a business is never easy, but it's always worth it. Just remember, kasama ninyo ang negosyante. Ako si Roda Castro Kaliwara na naniniwalang pag may negosyo, may trabaho. See you next week.